So after saying he would welcome a fight with Ilia Topuria in order to get to the belt next, Charles Oliveira has officially backtracked on that and now said that he is only concerned with a fight with Islam Makhachev. He only wants to fight with Islam Makhachev next. Nothing else. He just wants Islam. No fight with anybody else. He wants a direct route to Islam, despite him losing to Arman. I don't know what is specifically running through Charles Oliveira's head at this moment, but it is totally illogical that he'd be given an immediate title shot against Islam Makhachev, especially given the fact that he got arguably dominated by Arman Tsarukyan. So, I mean, Ilya is basically his only fucking hope moving forward. And I'm very confused at why Charles believes that he is next up for a title shot. If I'm Charles, I'm going for Ilya because a win against Ilya is an automatic, guaranteed title shot. Yeah, Charles does have arguably a lot to lose when losing to Ilya. I wouldn't say too much, but Charles hasn't really done much to put him in close contention to a belt, to a title at lightweight. So a loss to Ilya would probably send Charles down a bit. I wouldn't put Charles out of the top few at lightweight if he lost to Ilya, but it would be a while before Charles makes it to the belt again if he still desires the belt after taking a devastating loss to Ilia Topuria. But Ilya is looking more and more like the Boogeyman. I spoke to you guys before about this whole fiasco involving Chael Sonnen, where Chael Sonnen said that Charles denied a fight with Ilya. He doesn't want to fight Ilya. And then Charles came not too long ago to say that he did want to fight Ilya. And now, currently Charles is saying, scratch that, I don't want to fight Ilya anymore. It's just a further testament to the fact that Ilya is now the Boogeyman at lightweight. Nobody wants to cross paths with him. No lightweight is talking about him outside of Paddy Pimblett. No one wants to fight him. Ilya, of course, needs one victory at lightweight, at least one victory at lightweight before he can challenge Islam Makhachev. And no top lightweight is seemingly willing to give Ilya that chance at a belt, or at least a chance at number one contender for a belt. And, I can't blame him. Ilya is a scary motherfucker. He's a scary dude. He's a scary night out. He's a devastating night out. He's a devastating fight. If I had to fight Ilya tomorrow, I'd be up all night worried about, how the UFC is going to picture me knocked out on the canvas. And how bad of an MMA meme I'm going to be for the next few weeks, or a few months. So I get it. I get why Charles is running. I would get why Dustin Poirier would start to run, or Arman himself would start to run, or even Justin Gaethje would start to run. Ilya is here. He's at lightweight. He's looking at Islam Makhachev. Islam is saying Ilya needs at least one good win to get to him. Ilya is gunning for that win, and nobody wants to give him the win. And I do think Ilya knocks out every current lightweight except for Arman Tsarukyan and Islam Makhachev. I think everybody else is fair game for Ilya. Mauricio Rufy has a while before he can get, to the upper echelon of the division. And if he does so, then I would probably consider Mauricio Rufy being able to knock out Ilya, just because of what I've been saying time and time again about the blueprint that, a tall, lanky kicker can use to beat Ilya. Mauricio can do that, but outside of Mauricio, I think Islam can also, plant his shin on top of the head of Ilya and knock him out. And I think Arman just has a really tough back and forth fight with Ilya. I think it's like a 5-round back and forth fight. I think Arman is just skilled enough to come out of a 5-round fight still conscious against Ilya. I think Arman will have to take a couple punches, but like I said, if a fighter takes more than 4 clean punches from Ilya, they're going out. I think Arman Tsarukyan can get away with 3. you know? So yeah, I think right now, out of all the top lightweights that we have in this very entertaining division, I think only two can survive and maybe even win a fight with Ilia Topuria. So Ilia is gunning for Charles. I don't blame Ilia. That's a smart move, for Ilia to respond to what Charles said about only wanting a title shot. I don't know if it's going to get into Charles' head. It likely won't because Charles loves everybody, but I think it's going to give the UFC an idea, and I think it's going to make the UFC probably force Charles Oliveira to fight Ilia Topuria. You know, Ilia needs some dance partner. Justin Gaethje looks like he's going to get the next title shot against Islam just because Islam called for Justin. Um, but after Justin gets finished by Islam Makhachev, um, you know, we got to figure out who's next for Islam. And Ilya damn well looks like it. I'm excited. I've been calling for that fight. Right now we have to choose, or at least, the UFC has to choose who is going to take that L against Ilya. And it's looking like it might be Charles Oliveira. The Dustin Poirier fight is still on the table, so Dustin could take that fight. I don't really know. Arman Tsarukyan is still in the mix too. We can't forget about him. He's trying to get back into the swing of things after his injury. He's trying to get back to a title shot. So he's looking for an opponent. I didn't say this in my previous video, but I kind of highly doubt that Islam and Arman fight. And it's because I'm starting to find out now that they're apparently friends, and like good friends at that. So I'm not sure if they're going to agree to fight each other. I would make that fight. I like Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan for a title shot. I like that fight. I think it's a competitive fight. And like I said, I think Arman is one of those few guys that can come out of a 5-round or a 3-round battle with Ilya while still conscious, So, Ilya's looking for a dance partner. We got to figure out who it is. I want it to be Arman. I think it could possibly be Charles or Dustin, but at this point, it's really hard to tell who is going to fight Ilya next. I can tell you who's going to fight Islam next because it's going to be Justin. It's going to be Justin because, like I said, Islam has been calling for Justin to fight him for a while. I guess just because, Islam's coach, Khabib Nurmagomedov, UFC legend, fought Justin too, so I don't know. I don't know what Islam, is thinking about when fighting Justin Gaethje. A lot of people don't believe Justin Gaethje deserves that title shot. I don't believe Justin Gaethje deserves that title shot, but Ilya has been in the UFC for quite some time now. I think the UFC loves him now, and a beloved champ, a champ loved by the organization is likely going to get what he or she wants. So I'm sure Islam is going to fight Justin Gaethje next. After finishing Gaethje, he needs a dance partner. Is it going to be Ilya? Is it going to be Charles? Will it be Arman? Only time will tell. But overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Most importantly, turn the notifications on so you're notified and kept in the loop with my channel, with my community. Stay tuned, turn the notifications on, and again, like and subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next.